insurance purposes for saying like him, because we did lose both him and Keanu Neal last year, so we didn't have that thumper at safety. Cause I figured if Keanu went down, we'd have JJ, but JJ went down like before the season started. So by us losing both, that lost, that was that person. I guess that consider that fear factor going across the middle. But I mean, unfortunately, the man was cut. Apparently, what Quinn and company is seeing is they seeing some great talent from their younger guys. So I'm a trust their decision, because we can't we only getting highlights every day. We can't see nothing. None of us able to attend training camp due to COVID-19. So I just have to trust their word for it, and we'll see come September 13th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like you said. It's kind of like when you talk about Trav not having that head buster come across the middle. One of Drew's favorite sayings is keeping your head on the swivel when you come across the middle. That's one of Drew's favorite sayings that he always say.
So head on the swivel, dog.
Yeah, you gotta have that forcer to come through and knock some screws sometimes.
It's very unfortunate though, due to the NFL rules these days. You can't pop people like you used to, because nowadays, like people like Julian Edelman and Wes Welker, they could thrive going across the middle. See, back when we was all coming up, that was a fear factor. You ain't trying to come across that middle. If you saw 52 for the Baltimore Ravens sitting there, that was like, nah.
Steve Atwater. I know that Steve Atwater was no joke, boy. Him and John Lynch, Scott Case will knock your block the freak off, man. Like that, like that's something that I do miss about the game, man. It's like a lot of dudes, they literally instill like fear. We're talking about some major fear. You got them duck on when you try to go across that middle, bro. Like you try to stretch out if you want to.
Yeah, like and your career will flash before your eyes. You stretch out.
You try to stretch out if you want to.
She'll make your ass golf after that.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. You mentioned John Lynch. I'm gonna tell you an underrated safety doing that. Like during my upbringing time. And he played for the Jaguars. A lot of people don't talk about Donovan Darius, but he was a headhunter too down in Jacksonville. So like he don't get mentioned enough. And I always give that man credit, because he won, like you said, he won no fear factors like a Brian Dawkins. Like you feared when you saw those boys' numbers. When you came across that middle, you was like, nope, I'm good. I ain't trying to catch that. I said, rest in peace to Sean Taylor, but I'm going to tell you, boy, I done seen that man put some fear, some foot. I done seen wide receivers do a pirouette when they saw him coming. It was like, nope, I ain't trying to catch it. I don't want it. I don't want
it. Man, I never get when Sean Taylor hit that punter so hard. Those Sonic coins fell out of his pocket that time. I'm like, boy.
And this was the Pro Bowl. That was the messed up part. This wasn't even a real game. Like this was like, for fun, for kicks and giggles. And this man out here laying people in the wood. He's like, what you doing, bro? We got a whole season.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, during those times, man, they took that type of fear out of the sports. Because now, like I said, you have small receivers. They don't mind going across the middle, because they know if they take a lick, a flag gonna come out. It's just like with the NBA, how you watch these small point guards just run through the paint, and it's like, bro, like back in the day, y'all wouldn't run through the paint like that. Y'all would get smacked up by a center. If you talking about you could just run to the paint, get a layup. No, bro. Like they done changed the game, because they done changed the game completely.
They know they're gonna get that whistle. That's why they ain't good. That's why they happy to go across the middle. They know that whistle is coming. Even if you near the hill, man, that whistle that damn flag gonna come out with the quickness.
And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. What you just said. Even if you near the helmet, the flag coming out. Like it wasn't even a helmet hit. But if you near it, flag coming out, you're like, come on, bro. Yeah, come on, can we play any type of football?
They're gonna have a flag man.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times it don't even be the defender's fault. Like you gotta look at it, the receiver catch, and they'll try to protect themselves by ducking their body. And so you don't win. So you went from being exposed to going into the hitter's range. So when he make the hit, Now now it's a him and contact. Oh, flag out, you him and contact. Like, dude, that's not his fault. Like, he literally put his helmet where I was aiming at. I was aiming for his body. So how is my fault? Like, it's hard to play defense these days. I miss it.
It's
I
tough,
miss it
man.
with a passion.
A question. All right, since this is really well, let's just get straight to Anthony. Right, his question. Who will make the final cut and who is on the bubble? We can start at each position, or we can just, we'll start with you. Go with you and kind of go around in a circle. Jew, the low, and then we hit
And we
Trav.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go just go how you want, man. The guys that stand out for you, who was on the bubble, who is it?
We're gonna start with Deidre Sanat because we talked about him last week. Deidre Sanat is one of those guys that he's on the bubble. He's on the bubble now. He might be saved, and the reason he might be saved is because Marlon Davidson right now is injured. So they might keep him on the squad as an insurance policy, kind of like my man LT was saying down low, talking about JJ Wilcox last year, how he was supposed to be that insurance policy for Keanu O'Neal, but both of them end up getting hurt. So I think the same thing with Deidre Sanat. Deidre Sanat is one of those guys that's on the bubble. I hope he stays on the team for the mere fact that I want to see what he got. I told Mike, we talked about this on the show, off the show. I want to see what Deidre Sanat has. So before I say he trash or before we cut him, I want to put him out there on the field in game time. I don't care about necessarily what he's doing in practice. I want to see him when the live games start. What does he do in the games? Because sometimes I've talked about it before. When the bright lights come on, some guys perform better in games than they do at practice. So he's one of those guys that I want to actually see during the action. Let's see what he can do, because we know one of our biggest weaknesses is stopping the run. That's been one of our biggest weaknesses down the stretch over these past 2 seasons. So I want to see what Deidre Sanat has. He's the number one guy for me. That's kind of like a borderline type guy. Another guy out there as the cornerback is Jordan Miller. I really don't know what he is. He has that 4-game suspension. We all know that he, I guess PED use or whatever he did, substance abuse. So I really don't know what he has. He's another guy that came in with Isaiah Oliver, and he came out of the University of Washington. And that's the same college where Desmond Trufant played at. And usually they have pretty good defensive backs. So he's another guy that I really don't know what he is. I haven't seen enough out of him. I've seen him in preseason last year a little bit, but last year he didn't really get no playing time. He didn't get no burn. So I really don't know what he is. He's another guy that I feel like might get cut. And the reason I think he's going to get cut is because the cornerback position is so deep. Like, you're not cutting Bleedy Way Wilson, who balled out against the 49ers last year, over somebody like a Jordan Miller, especially because he's already got that 4-game suspension. So I believe he can kind of be off the actual radar far as Jordan Miller, for the mere fact that he has that suspension. So I think he doesn't have to count against the 53 because he's suspended. So that might end up saving him. But if they feel like he ain't showing out in practice, they might end up saying, let's just cut him, because we're so deep at corner. We got him. We got Josh Hawkins. We got so many guys, man. So many guys at that cornerback position, and we deep at that position that I see like he might be one of the guys that's definitely getting cut. I don't even know if he's on the bubble. It might be a wrap for him. But those are the 2 guys that I feel like are the guys that I know they're both on the bubble, because we already know Deidre Sanat, Dan Quinn really doesn't trust them. So with us having John Kaminsky, Alan Bailey, both Davidson brothers, Tyler Davidson and Marlon Davidson in the middle, Grady Jarrett, that's 5 guys right there that can man that nose position or the 3 technique. So, I think it might be a wrap for Deidre Sanat too. But I don't want to take all the time, so I'll throw it to y'all.
No, I'm gonna touch on 2 things. Number one, because you brought up Sanat. Now I've been trying to figure out what did we draft Sanat for, because the dude wasn't the biggest defensive tackle as it is. So, like, what was his main objective? Was he supposed to be like a pass rusher, a run stuffer, or what? Because, I mean, you got to look at it. For him to be playing in the NFL as a defensive tackle, You gotta have some type of size on you. He already lacked in height as it is. Like heck, he looked like he's my height. To be honest with you, heck, Mike might be taller than this man.
Let me answer that.
So,
Let me answer that real quick because let
all
me
right.
just real quick. Just answer that real quick. Deus not was supposed to be a more athletic nose tackle. He wasn't supposed to be a 3 tech. He's not supposed to be anything other than that. He's supposed to be an athletic nose guard, a 0 or 1 tech, a 2 tech. Like that's a 0. That's what he's supposed to be. So it's like people expect him to be Grady Jarrett. That wasn't what. That's not why he brought him in. They wanted him to be a more athletic, like pretty much like Tyler Davis. Tyler Davis is not overly, athletic, but compared to other nose tackles, 1 tech, 2 tech. That's what he's supposed to be. That's what people realize. And when when a lot of players are playing, when a lot of teams are playing more nickel, big nickel, Adidas or not, values goes down. So that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, and then another thing too to mention too, Mike. I mean, we all know how Dan Quinn is with versatility. I mean, because it's like Deidre Sinai, with him being as athletic as he is. I mean, in those big packages, he can, in some situations, he can kick him outside like they did Adrian Claiborne sometimes. Let him kind of collapse that pocket for us as well. So you make a real good point with that.
All right, another thing I want to bring up. He mentioned Breedy Bree. Really, that's what we going with. Breedy Bree Wilson.
Hey man,
come on now.
He balled out, bro.
Listen, hey, I don't want to hear that. That man, yeah, don't get me wrong. I commend him what he did against San Francisco, but I don't neglect everything else I saw for that man. We just ain't gonna skip past all the bad that I watched on film because he had a great game against San Francisco.
Hey, man.
We are not about to do that. Breedy Bree, really? Yeah, I had a sweat jar just for him and offer.
I agree with your opinion. I agree with you, LT, on that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, what?
Now, I agree with you, LT, on that. But what I'm trying to say is, if it's over Jordan Miller, who we haven't seen, and he continues to get suspended, it's kind of like when we had Jalen Collins. Y'all remember Jalen Collins? He was one of those guys that was like, it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
He wasn't worth the problems. They're like, look, man, when he played good when he was actually on the field, but it was like he kept getting suspended. So they're like, if we can't look, I always said the best ability is availability. If you're not available, it doesn't matter how good you are. So
you're right about that. You're right about that because I'm talking about what I think Collins was suspended for 10 games. And the minute he was reinstated to play, boy, they put the scissors to him quick. Like they didn't even give it no time. The minute he was like, "Oh, he can come back," no, you couldn't. It was over with. I mean, now I can't say this in the Falcons organization. They have been well in keeping down troublemakers in the locker room. So I can commend them for that. For the most part, during this tenure, they don't have no issues with guys in the locker room. If anybody becomes any type of troublemaker, they get rid of them quick. As much as we might like the player, they might be decent for us. They don't need that type of distraction.
Falcons filter, man.
Wow.
Y'all know ever since Michael Vick left, we got that Falcons filter now. So, if a guy runs a little bit slower, it isn't as strong, it doesn't matter because he's a nice guy.
Put the suit on him again.
Hey man, hey man. Look, I don't. I'll just stay away from that. Kill, man. What did you think, man? Who you got on, man?
The one that I say that the one that I hate to say the most, I say Ito Smith. The only reason why I say that because Jews boy, he was busting that ass in training camp. So he looked good. And I think what the problem with Ito Smith is he can't pass protect. And I think this year you really need to protect Matt Ryan. You need that pass protector because you got Ty Gurley, who's really setting the standard for what they want. as far as an all around back. And then, like you said, Brian Hill, even though he cut that weight, like I said, he could still catch the ball out the backfield. So where's Edo Smith gonna fall in line at? Because you got Quadri Olison, that should go right back in case you want to give Todd Gurley some time.
You know what? We made a drastic mistake. We should have signed Leonard Fournette. I hope everybody kisses.
Man,
I hope everybody kisses sarcasm in there.
Everybody got quiet.
I was about to mute the living hell out of your ass. I was about to mute the hell out of it. Who you got, man? Who you got eyes on?
Talking about me? Well, like he touched on Edo and I. That was. Oh, okay. I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Deidre Sanat, it's like, you know, it's kind of like I said last week. I mean, you know, his story and everything is a real good story, but we just got too much depth, man. At that defensive tackle position, you know, with your boy, with the Davidson brothers, Grady, Alan Bailey. Everybody forgets about Comiskey. Everybody always forgetting about Comiskey. I think, you know, I mean, we just don't have enough roster, you know. And then I mean, you know, all these wide receivers that we have. I mean, I really like Olamide Zaccheaus. But I don't know which one it'll be. But I think one of these wide receivers that we really like might be walking out the door. It might even be Laquan Treadwell. I think we were talking about that yesterday. So I mean, yeah, they're going to be a lot of stuff that's going to hurt.
Okay. All right. Anyone got one more? Anybody got one more before I get mine in?
I'll come out and say I think the guys that y'all had untouched on, I agree with. I think Edo was high on my radar by being cut. Treadwell could be a possibility. I mean, I understand we brought him in as a big receiver, but he hadn't panned out his whole career. And I mean, I'm not saying like you know the guys like Olamide Zaccheaus and Christian Blake. They might overtake him. I mean, like I said, I still feel like it's still a battle, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like Matt, like one of those guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he did have a deep ball pass to Zaccheaus last year against Carolina.
You just said that's a key word you just said. I love what you just said. I love what he didn't say. He did not say the offensive coordinator. He said what Matt Ryan likes, and that's going to be the key. Whoever Matt Ryan likes to throw to, it doesn't matter what we think about Laquan Treadwell. If he thinks if he likes to throw the Laquan, if he likes to throw targets, that's what you're going to see. It's like when you look at Matt Ryan and his career, he's always like to throw to bigger receivers, and I think that's going to play a huge part. Like, I really think that's going to be a huge part as far as the receivers are concerned. And might be right about that, Trey. Like, I think that when you look at it, I even hate to say this, but I think when it all comes down to it, man, it just doesn't have enough chemistry and time to work with Laquan, and that right there in itself, I think that puts him at a disadvantage. And man,
you know, you read my mind.
I think
like that was exactly what I was. That was exactly what I was looking for, chemistry. Because Matt thrive on chemistry. He loves chemistry. If he could be in sync with you, he thrives at best. So like that's gonna be very telling. And like I said, with Christian Blake and the Olamide Zaccheaus, they have already a year's worth of work under him. Beats that Treadwell just got signed 6 months ago. So we don't know what you're gonna bring to the table. But like I said, Matt got chemistry with the other guys, you know. So I mean, I don't know if they did their little workouts Cali. I think I seen a report that Matt did his normal workouts in California, but I'm not sure. I think they did because Julio was there. Yeah, I think they did because Julio actually showed up this year. He missed the last couple of years, so Julio came this year. So, I mean, if Treadwell didn't make, if we didn't have him already, and like Zacchaeus and Christian Blake was there, then that already puts him behind the curve because he don't have that chemistry that Matt would like.
Oh, whoa. I'm so sorry. But some big news out of the NFL just happened, man.
What?
Josh Rosen just got released by the Dolphins. Yes, it just got released, man. Adam Schefter, the Dolphins are releasing Josh Rosen. I apologize for interrupting, but yeah.
Hold on. So they kept Fitzpatrick. They kept Fitzmagic. They kept Fitz pick six. They kept that's who they kept.
I call him 2 game fit.
Yeah,
that's all he is. He's good for 2 games.
I call him shit's magic. Like
he never play like shit.
Hey man, I don't know. See, oh boy, this is why the Patriots have won every single year. Every single year, they are going to continue to win because of dumb shit like this. Like, I'm sorry, Josh Rosen has room to grow. He has room to grow. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to get as good as he's going to get. Give the guy
as a matter of fact,
giving him anything to work with.
Isn't this Josh Rosen? What this was be Josh Rosen? What 3rd season in NFL?
Yes.
Third
yes,
and you kept Fitz Magic.
Jew man, let me. Jesus. Yeah, man, Jew. Let me. I want to hear what you got to say about that, Jew. What you think?
Hey, man, that tells me one thing: Tua's healthy. That's what I've been hearing. I was hearing this since yesterday. They were talking about Josh Rosen was about to be on the move, that they were trying to trade him. And can I touch on one thing real quick, Mike? Because this be pissing me off. One thing. It's not even about the Josh. It's not even about the Josh Rosen thing. But I want to talk something about. Say one thing, and it's referring to, and it's gonna come out of left field, but it's referring to Vic Beasley, and when players are trying to be traded, Yannick Ngakoue and all these guys, Leonard Fournette, when they be talking about no team want to trade for them because they don't want them. That's not what the problem is. It's not that they don't actually want the player. It's that if they know the player is about to be released, why trade assets for somebody that's about to be released? Like everybody knew we weren't going to re-sign Vic Beasley. So it wasn't that at mid-season when they were like, nobody wants Devontae Freeman. Nobody wants Vic Beasley. No, nobody wants to trade assets for this particular player because if nobody wanted him, they wouldn't have signed him. Tennessee turned around and signed him. So it wasn't that nobody wanted him. The same thing with Josh Rosen. It ain't that they don't want him. This is just showing me that Tua is ready to take the keys to the car. And they're basically saying, we're not going to waste any time keeping it because they know Josh Rosen doesn't want to be a backup. So we don't have to deal with him in the locker room. We're going to go ahead and move on from this guy. That's what it's saying. It's not an indictment against Josh Rosen. Like people want to say Josh Rosen's trash. He's not trash. The problem is he doesn't have the keys to that car no more. They're basically saying, you're not the franchise guy. Tua is our guy. So we can put less pressure on Tua. We're going to go ahead and move this guy so Tua doesn't have to worry about this guy behind him. It's the same thing with Matt Ryan. It's the same thing with Matt Ryan. Like, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, my issue with Toucan Sam is the fact that he has not had no continuity in his career. Like, you got drafted by the Cardinals. They trade you. You tossing up starting jobs between you and Fitzmagic. Now you got cut. So now it's like, like I said, he don't have the necessary he don't have the continuity in his career. He haven't even been able to learn a playbook for a full couple seasons before somebody done outed him on the team. So now my next thought process is who's willing to sign him? Like what team is willing to bring him in and let him learn? Now, me personally, I might sound crazy, but this idea popped in my mind. I would say Indianapolis. Learned under Phillip Rivers. I mean, he on his last leg. He got 20 kids at the house. Like, just like let him learn. You learn from under him, and then you hand him the realms of the franchise and go from there. That would be my thought process. But I work on trucks, so I ain't a GM.
I got a question. I got a question for Lowe, man. I think this kind of goes into what he was saying about quarterbacks, man. Name quarterbacks who have pretty much not lived up to the hype the first couple of years, and then they get with the right they get with the right coach and team scheme, and they end up being something.
Sam Bradford.
Oh no, hell no.
He's trolling.
That man need. I need the IRS to go to this man's house and arrest him for fraud. All that man did was steal his whole career. I'm still trying to figure out how this man kept getting $25 million contracts after that crop he been producing on the field. I need his agent. Somebody to work out me some contracts to get me big money, because that man ain't did nothing his whole career, and all he got was $25 million, $1 million. No, Bradford is not one. You trash.
I tell you what, like if you look at Sam Bradford's career, so what, like the first 2 years he was hurt, correct? And then I know that he changed. I think he changed offensive coordinators like 3 years in a row. And now we all know how every time Matt Ryan changed offensive coordinators, that next year the production dropped. So he finally had an offensive coordinator for 2 years, I believe, when he went to Minnesota. Like he was like a borderline numbers.
He put up the
the
numbers until he got that knee injury. Until that knee injury, he put up. That man put up numbers. Sam Bradford put up numbers until he got injured.
Go look at
until he got injured. Sam Bradford did numbers.
Yeah, go look at his numbers.
That's the truth. Hey, we got Google.
Yeah.
You can Google that yourself. Right?
I don't need Google. I don't need Google. I am NFL. I am NFL mobile. Like, I don't need Google. Bottom line is, I don't care what y'all say. The Bradford just did not do that. If that was the case, why can't Keelan have his job? Why can't Keelan have his job? Why can't Keelan have his job?
Keelan getting hurt.
Man, look, man.
He kept getting hurt. I mean, but like as far as like Josh Rosen, though, I mean, it's like I think one of the biggest reasons they didn't keep him on the Dolphins, I mean, because when he gets drafted in the first round, correct?
And it's mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting to that third year. I mean, who's more affordable? Josh Rosen or Fitzmagic? I mean, so
you mean Fitzpatrick.
At the end of the day, I mean, it was just dollars and cents, man. I mean, it's like just like Juice said, it's obvious that Tua is healthy and he's going to be Russell Wilson Jr. moving forward. I mean, why have another guy coming up that's going to, you know what I'm saying? Two guys. Why have two alpha males on the team whenever we can just get rid of one of them and save some money?
So who's going to be the starter for Miami week 1?
Tua. All day.
I think Fitzpatrick probably be the day one.
I about to say I put 20 on. I put 20 on Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I mean, if Fitzpatrick is starting, he just warming a chair for Tua. Tua eventually gonna take over, so he ain't doing nothing but warming the seat. He know that. That's all he been doing.
Let's pause real quick. To Kelvin, no, we don't need him. No, we don't need him.
I got it. I want everybody. I want everybody's opinion on this, man. Hey, let's go, Kill. Let's go to Kill, man. What you think about this, man? Can you see your ass letter, man?
Like you said, the problem is, like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick will start. But like you said, he just warming up the chair. I mean, you already know Fitzpatrick's only good for 1 or 2 games. Then that third game, he's gonna play like absolute garbage. Hence the name Patrick, as I agree with LT on that one. But like I said, 2 is the future. I mean, it's kind of hard. You got cut the next year. You got drafted, then got cut by the next team.
I got $20 on Fitz Magic throwing a pick 6 first game. He prone for one.
Man, you prone for one. You gonna bet about a damn idiot.
He gonna give me one.
He gonna bet that. Who the hell?
Hey,
look, man. Look, we're not talking about that no more. Let's not talk about Fitzpatrick again. All right. Let's go. Look, I'm going to take this question because this been burning me up all freaking day. I've been seeing this for the last couple of days, and we're talking about Mohamed Sanu coming back to the Atlanta Falcons, man. Hey, man, y'all can go in order, but this is something that I gotta address. And Falcons, look, shit, we got 52 people in the chat right now. I might about to hurt y'all feelings. All right, I might just be about to hurt y'all feelings.
No, don't do it. Please don't do it.
I'm so sick. I'm so sick of you guys. Every time we let go a guy who's clearly his best days are behind him, we trade him away, we release him, or we don't resign him. Y'all are the first people to say that we need to bring him back. Why in the hell do we need to bring back Sanu? What is so good at? Running a Wildcat? Bro, we can get that. We can get Chris Rowland to do that. We can get Ty Gurley to do that. Ty Gurley did that in Georgia. We don't need him to do that. We don't need him to throw the damn ball. We got 3-4 quarterbacks. Bro, like the Travis, shut up. Shut up. You're not doing that. I'm so sick. I'm so sick and tired of Atlanta Falcons fans wanting absolute trash, man. This man can't run a goddamn 4.7 flat, and we want him in the damn Atlanta to basically be Michael fucking Thomas. That's what we want him back. He's a Michael Thomas at this time. He can't separate. You got to call plays. That was the reason why they got rid of him. That Hooper got so many catches last year. If he could not open. Mohamed Sanu could not get open. This is what we saw on film. The film doesn't lie. He's slow. He can't get open. So why do we always got to go in the trash? Every time somebody is released, we got to go in the damn dumpster and then look for some goddamn food like we fucking homeless people or something. Stop it, people. We got young bulls. Let these young bulls do something. Let them prove something before we sit up here and try to go back in the damn dumpster looking for tater tots or something. Shit. Ain't no damn tater tots in there. It's old ass molded bread, okay? Old ass molded bread. That's what you're gonna get when you shopping in the damn dumpster. Stop it, people. All right, so whoever want to go from there, like, go, man, because I'm so fucking sick and tired of making videos about Mohamed fucking Sanu. Let's make some damn. Let's make videos about how. Let's talk about how he can do something. Let's talk about how. Everybody know who I'm talking about when I say that. Let's see what he can do. Why do we always gotta shop in the damn dumpster for people that we already know who he is? We know what Mohamed Sanu is. Now, we don't know what Russell Gage. He could be much better. He could be much better than Mohamed Sanu, but you guys don't want to give him a chance because you're so stuck in the damn past.
Now, the bread that you speak of that's molded, is it Captain John bread? Because I like Captain John.
Really?
Hey, man, look, that shit is old as biblical time bread. All right, we're gonna talk about that. Those some biblical time bread, old as molded on top of the mold. That's
you said biblical.
That is.
You said biblical, so Jesus did feed 1,000 people with loaf of bread.
Biblical mold. We're talking. I'm just so sick. I'm like this. I'm I'm just sick. I'm so sick. Just sick. I'm sick and tired of Falcons fans always want to go in the damn dumpster for old players. Michael Vick is 40 years old. Let it go, people. This is what I'm talking about. Let it go. Let it go.
Please don't bring him up. Please don't bring him up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Please don't bring him up.
Hey, I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys go, man. But I had to get that on my chest. Like, I'm so sick and tired of Falcons fans living in the past, bro. Let our players let these guys do something. All right, that's my thing. All right, you guys, there's some questions in there. Y'all take it from here, man. I'm done. I need to sip water.
Let me say this. I went on a rant too the other night. Mike, you've seen it. Drew, I think you and Tony, y'all seen it as well. My thing is, because I got DM after I made the video because somebody said they felt like I was speaking on them, and I was like, I was speaking on the fan base as a totality because every time it seems like somebody gets cut, like you said, they want to bring him in. They cut Earl Thomas. Let's bring Earl Thomas in. We already got safeties. Plus, he's stage 3 cancer. I don't want him on my team. As of right, if you would have said 2014, I probably would have took it. But now that man's cancerous. I don't need him in my locker room. You cut Leonard Fournette. Let's bring in Fournette. We already got several backs. We don't need no more. Now you say they cut Sanu. Let's bring in Sanu. We don't need him. That's why we talking about possibly losing Laquan Treadwell. Now I even seen the Falcon fan today. They said let's sign Adrian Peterson, and I didn't know whether I wanted to slit my throat or put a gun in my mouth.
I was good for a second till you brought that to my attention. I'm just oh my God.
Adrian Peterson, really? Are we that desperate? Falcon fans, do y'all want to win a Super Bowl, or y'all just want to look good and be talked about on ESPN? Because at the end of the day, I want to win a championship. I want to be able to hoist that Lombardi up and watch my Falcons. When I see them clock hit triple zeros and we got the lead in February, whatever date that is, the very last game of the season, and we hoisting up that Lombardi, I want to be on social media crying like a punk on the floor because God, I finally saw it. My team won a championship. As a fan of the Lakers, I've been there 5 times. As a Duke Blue Devil fan, since I've been watching college ball, I've been there 3 times. All I want to see in my lifetime is the Falcons to win 1. I just want 1. That's it. And some of all these offensive weapons ain't gonna get you that.
It seems like everybody's still thinking that it's 2010. Everybody's like, oh yeah, let's get Adrian Peterson in. Like it's 2010 and he could run for 2,000 yards for us. Like, come on, y'all. Come on, man. This dude is old as Methuselah.
Come on.
And we got 5.
Not Methuselah. Not Methuselah, boy.
You know Methuselah, man.
I mean, come on, y'all.
Man said Methuselah, bro.
Y'all legitimately want to.
That's what I mean, though.
I tell you what, Falcons fans, if y'all think we should take Adrian Peterson or Mohamed Sanu, let me see you put a 1 in the chat.
If I see, but I bet I see 1. Yeah, I bet I see that nail 1 in that chat.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I ain't gonna be too mean. He ain't gonna be too mad at you, man. Mike's not gonna be too mad at you.
I might put your ass in timeout for about 30
minutes. As much heartbreak the Falcons have bestowed upon me in my lifetime, the fan base will make me denounce my fanship as a Falcon fan. Good God. Like, that's how bad it done got. Like, I used to hear people say Falcon fans was annoying. I used to think they was just crazy. I'm like, bro, we not annoying. We don't even be talking like that. But as my followers grew on Twitter and now I see y'all talk, good God, but y'all really are that annoying. Like, we have not won nothing for us to be feeling entitled. That's the biggest problem that I have, the entitlement. But we won. What championship have we got? What have we done for us to be feeling so entitled that we deserve X, Y, and Z, or we could talk the most? Listen, I'm trying to be as humble as possible. Now, the day I get a Super Bowl, then I'm a brag, gloat. I'm gonna be calling. Has my big bro used to do me? He's a diehard Steelers fan. They used to call me sometimes on work nights, 3 o'clock in the morning, just to say your Falcons suck and hang up. So I want to return the favor just to call him at 3 a.m. and say Super Bowl champs and hang up. I'll be glad to be able to do that one day. But until then, I'm trying to be as humble as possible because I don't have a championship. I don't. Philadelphia got a championship before we did. Like, come on, bro. I want a Super Bowl at the end of the day. I need that championship.
You
You
can't that, man.
You can't fall in love with old hoes.
Go ahead.
So you can't fall in love with old hoes.
You can't, man.
You said they, like I said, you fell in love with them when they was prom queens and stuff like that. Now she got bullet holes in her, and you want her back. Now that
man said bullet holes. He said bullet holes. A couple stab wounds, so C-section scars,
and a whole bunch of tattoos that mean nothing. But like Mike said, you gotta let the young guns eat. Yeah, we gotta see what they made of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And what they want to do, they want to be this year. I mean, you bring back Sanu, you might as well put sand on the field and let everybody run. He'll catch up with everybody.
While we at it, since we're gonna bring back some Sanu, let's see if we can get Ryder White out of retirement. See that? Complete silence.
We're not doing that. Hey, Jude.
Let's see what Michael Turner up to.
Let's talk about this running back. No. We ain't gonna do that, man. Let's get into this running back by committee, man. Like I want to know what everybody's order. Who would you see get majority of the carries, and like how would you if you're the offensive coordinator, how would you really kind of control the running back situation? Like who's going to be the third down back, who's going to be the lead back, and who's going to be that change of pace back? Like, who would you do? What is your order?
I guess y'all waiting on me, huh? Okay.
Juke.
So that order, you already know, man.
Juke, come on, man.
Juju on that beat.
Hey, you already know, man. You already know.
Let that be the first and last time you say that on this live.
You already know who the number one running back is. Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is the star. He Michael Jackson, and this the Jackson 5. We already know it's his show. It's gonna be Todd Gurley. The second running back is gonna be Brian Hill, because Brian Hill has been killing everybody at camp. 3 is Ito Smith. I told you guys we need to use him just like the Patriots used Devin White. Use him out of the backfield to catch passes. Don't have him running up the gut. Don't have him out there blocking, because we've seen what happened. We played the LA Rams last year, and he was trying to block a middle linebacker coming with a full head of steam. I don't know why he was in the game to block and try to pick him up, and why he didn't try to cut the linebacker and tried to block him up top, end up getting a concussion or a neck injury. So, and then it's Quadri Olison. Y'all know Quadri Olison is basically the goal line back and short yardage back. But I really think that Quadri Olison is not going to see a ton of carries, because once we get on the goal line, we know that Todd Gurley is going to get the football. Either Todd Gurley or Brian Hill, but mainly Todd Gurley, because Todd Gurley is a touchdown scoring machine. He always has over 10 touchdowns. So it's the Todd Gurley show. I think they said Todd Gurley's gonna get anywhere between 15 to 20 touches in a game, and that's out of the backfield as well. Like a lot of people, I think what they're missing is Todd Gurley is dynamic catching the football as well, and that's what a lot of people are sleeping on. He's not just one of those old school, you got to hand him the ball 20, 25 touches. He's one of those guys like a Marshall Faulk. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, and you can use him as a Swiss Army knife. You also can put him out as a wide receiver, and he can just run routes. And you line him up against any linebacker in the league, it's a mismatch for the most part. The only person probably can keep up with him is on his team, and that's Deion Jones. Any other other back in the league, they ain't keeping up with Todd Gurley one-on-one. So I feel like it's really the Todd Gurley show. Todd Gurley's gonna really ball out because you got Julio Jones, you got Calvin Ridley. You can't watch everybody. You can't double team everybody. So if you double team and triple team and Julio out of the backfield, it's going to be man coverage pretty much every time, unless they're in some type of zone, cover 3, cover 2. But I really think that Todd Gurley's going to eat. And what's going to end up happening once he start eating, everybody's going to move up. They're going to have to load the box because Todd Gurley is one of those guys that's a top 5 running back in the league. A lot of people were talking about last year when he was injured. He still had I think he had about 14 touchdowns last year. So I'm like, even on an injured, even in a season when he was so-called injured, he still balled out. So I really feel like it's going to be pick your poison. But I really think that right behind him is going to be Brian Hill. Him and Brian Hill going to get the bulk of the carries. I don't even think all 4 of those running backs are going to dress every game. I really see Quadra Olison or Ito Smith being over there in a jumpsuit, holding on, with a clipboard and an earpiece in their ear. I don't see all 4 of those guys dressing out because you're going to need the defensive depth. So you're not going to be able to have all of those guys dressed out, all of those wide receivers, all of those running backs. You guys remember last season where half the season, Brian Hill and Quadra Olison weren't even dressing for the first part of the season. So I see the same thing this season. I see them dressing probably 3 running backs each game. And then it's going to be somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. So really, when you get out there, you're going to have to ball out. Like Ito Smith, Brian Hill, and Quadra Olison, those guys are going to really have to show what they got. Because if they don't ball out, and I really think it's Ito Smith and Quadra Olison, because I think they've seen enough of Brian Hill in camp in preseason last year, and then the opportunities that he got last year, they see what he can do. So the guys behind Todd Gurley and Brian Hill, those are the guys that's really got to show their stuff. Because Ito Smith and Quadra Olison, they're going to have really limited touches. I mean, talking about like maybe 3 touches, if that. Because if Todd Gurley is going hard and he's running hard and averaging 3-4 yards a carry, they're not going to pull him off the field once he get going. So good luck for Ito Smith and good luck to Quadra Olison because I don't see them getting a lot of time unless somebody go down with injury.
Big low, and then we go to Kevin.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. And this is if I was
Big
the coach.
low, and then we go to Kevin.
Yeah, if I was the coach, I personally think what I would do is I would let Gurley run on 1st and 3rd downs. I have him on the field on 1st and 3rd downs, and then I'll put Brian Hill in on 2nd downs because we all know about the arthritis and Gurley's knee and everything, but I mean, we just want to limit those touches. I would bring in Ito Smith, every now and then just to get everybody else a breather. I think if they do dress Olsen out, I think it might be a situation where he may play on special teams or something like that. But for the most part, just like we were talking about last week, fellas, I think he's going to be a hamburger eater on the sidelines in the jumpsuit. What do you think, Drew? Yeah.
Well, I think we already know Todd Gurley's gonna get majority of the carries. I think the backups are gonna be dependent on the matchups on defense. Because I think the guys are interchangeable, and then you have, like I said, I think all our backs are versatile enough to be like difference makers in different matchups against different teams. Because, like you said, you might go against a smaller defense. Quadra Olison or Brian Hill might go off in the game. You might go against a bigger defense. They're Brian. It's just there. I'm about to say, what we got, LT? What you got?
Try.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I agree with most of y'all. I agree with most of you guys, which I already said, because you already know Gurley gonna be our workhorse. As what's the name called him? He's our Michael. So I would go with the same order. Gurley's our Michael. Brian Hill gonna be Tito, and Olison is gonna be a toss up between who's gonna be it's gonna be a toss up who's gonna be Latoya. I don't know if it's gonna be Olison or Ito. It might be Ito more than anything because of the fact that
Wow.
What?
So ain't nobody gonna be Jermaine Jackson.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna be who?
Jermaine Jackson.
I mean, well, whoever get the third spot permanently, they'll be Jermaine. And then, of course, the fourth person gonna be Latoya. We ain't gonna say you Janet because Janet's a superstar. We don't know what Latoya do, but but at the end of the day, like I mean, that's how I look at it. I would feel like the bigger backs would get more of our touches compared to Ito, due to the fact that, like I said, Ito's size is really fit to hurt him in this situation. Like of course he has had his moments, but we need somebody that's gonna be able to take. We need backs that gonna be able to take that pounding. And with Gurley, Brian Hill could do it, Quadro Olison could do it. So I said, like, in my humble opinion, Ito looking real Latoya-ish right about now. So yeah. Hence him possibly might even be cut. We don't know. They might throw him in practice squad. Still don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I think he made an excellent. Well, I kind of. Yeah, you got that right, man. I think honestly, man. The way the roster on the offensive side of the ball is looking, I can definitely see a small trade happening for the Falcons. Especially with the offensive line. You got a rookie left guard for the most part. You got Carpenter, who he's a veteran piece. At this point with his contract, he's damn near, impossible to trade and just cut without, ending up like the damn Saints with $78 million. $78 million in dead like cap roll. Like what? Like bro, like they really trying to go for it. But when it comes down to it, man, I could really see that the Falcons. I could really see Ito Smith being one of those guys who could possibly be traded and released, because like I don't see why you would invest in Quadro Olison, barely give him a year to prove himself, and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like that there tells me that one, Thomas Dimitrov is on his way out because he's giving up on one of his projects. Like that. Make no mistake about it. Thomas Dimitrov runs that offense. That's his offense. That's he and Matt's offense. Yes. Dan Quinn has a say-so, and I said this all along. He has a say-so. Rich McKay and Dan Quinn were supposed to work together. They were supposed to work together. Not Quinn, but Thomas Dimitrov and Matt Ryan were supposed to work together. When that compromise, when the Falcons had to essentially, Rich McKay had to actually kind of deal with some things with the with the dome and whatnot, that kind of got Thomas Dimitrov, put him in a position where he wasn't qualified to run the defense. He's never been qualified to run the defense. He knows how to scout players, but actually bringing in players to complement each other. That offensively, that's more of his forte. And having a guy like Dan Quinn, man, and Rich McKay together again, man, I think Falcons, we kind of saw that last year towards the end of the season. That defense was absolutely on one accord. That's the first time in a long time that I've seen them on one accord. We're talking.
Guess
about
where they were ranked at?
Coaches, the players, they play.
Guess where they were ranked at?
Top 5. I know top 5. I know the top 5.
Our defense was actually ranked top. No, I'm saying like the last half of the season, our defense was actually ranked top 5.
Right. I know, and see, that's why I have high hopes for this team, because the chemistry. We talk about chemistry all you want to. This, like I said, this is the first time that Dan Quinn has had a guy with a defensive mind. Make no mistake about it. Rich McKay was an intricate part of that Tampa defense when he was with Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy created that shit. Tony Dungy and Rich McKay, they created that defense. And Mr. Oakland, now Las Vegas. He was just a pawn. He just came in and like a trick in the night, stole the money and got the hell on. Like that's what he did. Like that's what he did. He was not one of those guys that can build a team. And you see it right now in Las Vegas. They don't know who the hell they want to keep. They don't know who they want to trade. They don't know what he has no clue what he want to do right now. You know what I'm saying? So
you talking about the Gruden grinder?
I'm talking about the Gruden grinder. Yeah, that sorry sack of crap. He's the most overrated guy. Like he knows quarterbacks. That's just all he knows. He don't know how to pick them.
I need his agent. I need his agent too. I need his agent too because he stole $100 million.
Does Gruden really know quarterbacks? Like when we asked, because Brad Johnson.
I'm talking about X's and O's. Yeah, you're right. X's and O's.
Yeah, because all the quarterbacks he had, they ain't really. I ain't seen none make the Pro Bowl.
Hold on. First of all, you talking about he know quarterback. I clearly remember him having a quarterback by the name of Chris Sims, and he was trash.
Let's not say that. Let's not say that name again. That and he got the nerve to be writing articles about what Matt Ryan should be doing. Like, man, you don't sit your ass down.
Bruh.
What the hell have you ever done?
I really be looking at
say what Matt.
Hey, some people are better analysts than they are players, man. He better.
He ain't neither. 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 He ain't neither.
He ain't neither, dog.
Well, in 2016, he did predict we were going to the Super Bowl, though. That I do remember that.
When?
I remember that, Chris, before the season started.
Yeah, I can predict that.
Yeah, look, a dead clock right twice a day. I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Hey, man.
It's a glorified clipboard holder.
Yeah,
at best.
He ain't even that. His brother, man, his baby brother looked better than him. Matt looked better than Chris at times. I want to hear that.
That's the absolute truth. Yeah. And that's the absolute truth. Trust me, we got this. Why? I don't know how the hell YMF, whatever. I'll just call you Jamal, man. We definitely got some stuff coming for you guys, man. Trav gonna have his Big Low. He's gonna have his own show. Kill. He's gonna have his show, man. We got some stuff coming for y'all, man. So trust me, you're gonna see these guys a lot, and we're talking about a lot long. Like these guys are very fun. They know their football. We're not gonna give a bunch of bullshit. All right, that's what Falcons Nation is all about. That's what unintentional ground is all about. We're not gonna give you bullshit. All right, we're gonna give you the absolute truth. Because I'm tired of looking at the that I don't want to say it. I'll just keep it because I don't want to get sued. Don't
do it, Mike.
News article. I'm not gonna do it. I'll let that go. I'll just say this: we're tired of people with all this clickbait bullshit. Stop the clickbait and give people facts. If you don't do it, we'll do it.
Let me say this. Reason why we are created is due to the fact that not only the clickbait, but we want to bring knowledge to the Falcon fans. I understand a lot of people feel like we get disrespected. In hindsight, I tell them all the way how some folks react, we probably do deserve the disrespect that we get. But we don't get the love that we should via national media. Due to the fact that we aren't known for winning ways, but anytime the Falcons are mentioned, is always, even if it's a compliment, it's like a backhand compliment. I remember the year 2012 when we was undefeated. Practically, we the only undefeated team left, and I think that's the same year they started the power rankings, and it basically took them everything getting them to basically like not give us the number one spot. We the only undefeated team left. Won 3 games after being basically the only undefeated team left. and they did not want to give us that number one spot. They kept giving it to everybody else but the Falcons until it got to the point that they were like, all right, they undefeated. We ain't got no choice but to give it to them. Like, that's basically how they do us. So, you know what I'm saying? But people always talk about, like if you look at First Take, if they talk about the Falcons, Stephen A. Smith, you got Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, who's a baller, Calvin Ridley, who's a stud, this, that, and the third. But X, Y, and Z. See, you can't just give us props. There's always a but behind it, even if we're doing well. So that's why all these guys are here today, because now we want to be able to put out positivity within the Falcons fan base and Falcons Nation, along with giving knowledge when knowledge is need to be given. Because I hate to say it, but a lot of Falcons fans, y'all not knowledgeable at all. I hate to say it. I don't want to sound like I'm mean when I say it, but that's the facts. Just some of the takes that I've seen on social media just be horrific. Prime example of that, a take that was used. With a minute and 36 seconds left, ball on your own 35-yard line, you got to get downfield to score. Who would you choose? And the choices was between Steve Barkowski, Chris Chandler, Michael Vick, and Matt Ryan, and folks really had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say Michael Vick. And I'm over here like, why? Because I say, in case y'all don't remember correctly, you don't even know if Vick going to finish the drive. He might get hurt. Let alone not even the fact that he was fumble prone as well.
Ankle injury.
Exactly. He was fumble prone as well. So like you don't know, you would say Matt Ryan a choke artist, but the crazy part about it is Vic has 38 career wins as an Atlanta Falcon, but Matt Ryan has 38 career comebacks as an Atlanta Falcon. So that lets you know who's the better QB in this situation. Hell, I'll take Chris Chandler over him. I mean, I know people might be like, that's kind of disrespectful, but let's be honest here. After the missed field goal by Gary Anderson in the NFC Championship game, Chandler put on a massive drive to get us downfield to score that touchdown to tie the game and send it overtime. That was Chandler.
I mean, the biggest difference between Chandler and Michael Vick is that Chandler actually knew the playbook. Oh, Michael Vick ain't know the playbook.
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. They don't know that part.
Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody that.
And Chandler was sober.
I'm about to say we forget that Michael.
Wow! You threw that one in there too.
I'm about to say we forget Michael Vick couldn't throw a short pass to save his life neither.
But I ain't never seen a man that be want to throw 90 miles
an hour, boy.
Exactly, boy. That man want to throw a 95 mile per hour fastball on a 5-yard outright. Like, boy, what is you doing?
He's standing right in front of you. What are you doing? He's standing right there. You ain't got to throw the ball that hard.
Y'all can't tell me that Alger Crumpler don't see a cardiologist, because I know his chest kept getting caved in. Big passes. Every time he had. Every time Vic threw a pass to Alger Crumpler, you heard that man pass fault. That's how you know you throwing the ball entirely too hard.
Hey, you know that he started taping them hands up real quick.
Oh yeah.
Cause he had gel fingers after the game. That's why. Shoot, it rough catching that man pass.
Let me change the subject real quick. Hey, look, man, Michael Vick. I'm just tired of. I'm honestly just sick and tired of just Michael Vick, man. And people who just can't. Like I said, people just can't keep out of the past. Like, that's the past. All right, we got past Joe Anderson, the Dirty Bird. We don't want to do the Dirty Bird no more. Okay, we want to make up a new dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got over that issue. All right, so a lot of people got over, not Matt Ryan, but a lot of people have gotten over the 28-3 stuff. Like, it doesn't bother me like it used to. You know what I'm saying? And that only lasted, a couple of months for me, maybe 1 month. You know what I'm saying? Because look, man, we were that close, but like
it lasted a day for me.
And it's kind of what I'm going with this. And I look. I love this question right here, because it goes into my next question. I'm gonna change it around just a little bit because Raheem Morris take Coach Quinn. These comments are moving so fast, man. If the Falcons end up firing it, look, see, this is another reason why I just like people like I just take the time to think. And I really don't mean this. I don't really mean any harm when I say this. Like, really take your time to think about a lot of things before we really make those types of decisions off a whim. Morris, despite him being a DB coach, he's never won a thing. Why would you want a coach to be in charge of an entire team if he's never tasted any type of success? He's never done that. Raheem Morris has not won anything. Why do we continue to want guys who've never done a thing?
Say it again.
That's the thing that, like, I love Raheem Morris as the DB. And bro, like, I'm serious. Like, hey, this guy has never won anything, bro. Never. He ain't won a damn thing. He ain't won shit. He ain't Tom Brady. He ain't Dan Quinn. At least Dan Quinn got a taste of being a fucking champion. He was a part of a fucking champion. He's a part of a legendary head coach. A legendary head coach. At least he knows what it looks like. He's tasted that success. So why do we continue to disrespect Dan Quinn if he didn't get us to the damn Super Bowl? What a rookie defense. Think about that, people. A rookie defense filled with players with 1 year experience, 2 year experience. And he did exactly that. That's not an easy feat for a guy in his second year as a head coach. Second year as a head coach. And y'all trying to tell me that you want to replace him with fucking Raheem Morris? Think, people. Like this, like, do you take the time to really think about what you're saying? You to replace Dan Quinn, a head coach that has never done it. What he did was carry Mike Shanahan's bags. That's what he did. If you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, that's what he did. He carried that man's bags. Just like his son.
Let me say this.
Carried his daddy's bags. Just
saying this. Let me say this, because I mean I'm gonna piggyback what off you saying, because you know you mad Mike right now. But I'm gonna say this. This man here, if Falcon fans remember correctly, he was the head coach in Tampa, if y'all remember correctly. Now, if you remember this, how many times did we smack Tampa while he was down there?
Multiple times.
That should be your answer right there. How often have Raheem Morris can sit here and say he got a win over the Falcons as head coach?
Not many.
So that should be that right there should be your answer on why who you should take.
Go.
Hey, man.
Kev,
we all
and you, man.
We all know that Dan Quinn has proven himself. Oh, yeah. He's already proven himself. That's why I said last year when we started off 1-7 that he wasn't going to get fired, that the team was going to turn it around. And it's just like what Mike was saying. And this is what we really need to look at. As long as Matt Ryan and Julio Jones want Dan Quinn there, he's going to be there. Because we don't realize how much pull Matt Ryan and Julio Jones has with Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank actually talks to his players. He's out there at training camp. He's out there on the field. He knows that Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are smart players. So when Julio Jones came out in the locker room after starting 1-7 and basically chewed out the team, basically said that this is not Dan Quinn's fault. Players are not out here executing. Players are out here doing their own thing. They knew right then and there. I knew right then and there that Dan Quinn was not going anywhere. Because the worst thing you can do is piss off your star players. It's just like basketball. If you piss off your star players, Julio's not a diva. But if they try to make make the Atlanta Falcons a circus, and they start this every year firing head coaches, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones can demand a trade. They got that kind of pull. Trust me. People was asking me on my channel, why did Yannick Ngakoue get traded from Jacksonville? Because he told them that he was not going to play for them. Plain and simple. Even if he had to sit out, he said, I'm not playing for you guys. So the reason that the Vikings got the steal that they got and they didn't get those first round draft picks that they wanted is because they realized that Yannick Ngakoue wasn't bluffing. It's the same thing with the Atlanta Falcons. If Matt Ryan says that he wants Dan Quinn to be his head coach, and Julio Jones said they go to Arthur Blank's office and say, this is our head coach, he's going to lead us to the promised land, Arthur Blank is going to listen to those guys because Julio Jones and Matt Ryan don't grow on trees. Like, we really disrespect those guys, and we need to start listening to these guys when they talk. When Julio Jones says stuff, I listen because Julio Jones don't say a lot. So when he came out and stood up for the head coach, he didn't say nothing when we fired Mike Smith. Neither him nor Matt Ryan said a peep. It was quiet as church mice in that locker room. Did nobody stand up for Mike Smith and say, hey, we want this guy. He can lead us there. They seen what Dan Quinn has. They know that Dan Quinn is a leader of men. So they know what he can do. They know what he can do. So I don't care what the fans say. I don't care what the media says. If Matt Ryan and Julio Jones say, hey, look, this is our guy. He's going to lead us to the promised land. I don't care what we think as fans. I don't care what the media says, because even the media last year on ESPN kept saying, every time we lost a game during that losing streak, Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. He's going to get fired. Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. I kept telling everybody, as long as Julio Jones and Matt Ryan are speaking out on his behalf, and as long as those players are talking about we fighting for his job, I already knew it was a wrap. When we beat the 49ers, that just put the icing on the cake. Real talk. But the players have been saying all season long, we're fighting for his job. We're fighting for his job. But in the season 6-2, that was the writing on the wall right then and there. I don't care what Thomas Dimitroff, what Rich McKay was thinking. When they seen their star players, when Julio Jones came out and said what he said, that put the icing on the cake that, hey, look, we can't move on from this guy. We got to give him another chance because Julio Jones has spoken. He said guys are not, that Dan Quinn and the coaching staff are getting them prepared during the week, and the guys are just not executing out there on the field. Me and Mike talked about it. I talked about it last week. John Kaminsky said it recently in his media session this week that players were out there hesitating. Guys were not out there playing full speed. And when you're out there hesitating, you're always a step slow. You got to go out there and play football, read and react. If you're out there thinking, you're a step too slow. Because quarterbacks now are too smart. When you're just sitting back playing cover three, they know where the gaps and where the holes are in the coverage. So it's easy. It's like you giving me the same test every week, and I know the answers to it. I'm going to ace it every time. And that's pretty much what was happening to the Falcons last year. We made rookie quarterbacks and quarterbacks that was wet behind the ears, made them look like Hall of Famers. Marcus Mariota, prime example, came to Atlanta and threw for what? Dang near 400 yards passing. And he lost his job midway through the season. He couldn't even kick
the game.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
Please don't remind me, please. Just please.
Exactly. That's why I'm going with it. That's why I'm going with it.
Just please.
He don't even want to hear it no more because it was disrespectful what they did to us. It was disrespectful what they did to us.
Please.
Yeah, man.
Every time, bro, like that game pissed me off so much, bro. I just please, like, because it killed me. Because the crazy part about it, the week prior to that game, he looked like trash. The week after that game, he was on the bench. Like, I was like, dude, like, just no, just no.
But against us, he looked like a Hall of Famer. Against us, he looked like a Hall of Famer.
And that's the crazy part. In Matt Ryan's regime, that's been an ongoing thing for his team. That's why I've been telling people, like to say it be Ryan's fault when we lose, and I'd be looking like, how? I said, because do y'all not see that we've let piss poor quarterbacks come in and look like all pros for 1 week? 1 week, they look like a complete all pro, throw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. They looking fantastic. And in the following week, they back looking like trash again. Like, I never understood it. Like I tell you all the time, Matt Ryan's career comebacks is good and it's bad. It's good because you know you had a quarterback that can actually close the deal and get you the win when you need it. It's bad because look how many times he have had to save our franchise from losses, not to factor in the times that he actually brought the team back and took the lead, to watch your defense give it right back on the very last drive. Like, if you want to be honest, Ryan should have at least 50 comebacks in his career right now. But when you having people like Geno Smith walking downfield to get the game winning field goal in the Georgia Dome on Monday Night Football, that's bad. Or you had a 21-point lead over in London, and by Smitty being conservative, you don't let Stafford and company hawk that lead down, and we lose the game 22-21. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it a step further. When you have Brian Hoyer in Cleveland, Matt Ryan takes the lead, you let Brian Hoyer walk down the field to get a game with a field goal against us at the Georgia Dome. Like, it's games like that comes to my mind, and I keep trying to tell folks, this is why we have not been successful. Our defense has not been able to make the necessary stops that need to be made. That's why I've been preaching defense for the longest, because you seen when we had a number one offense for a season, which was the 7th best offense in NFL history. We were Super Bowl bound, but the difference in us being Super Bowl bound and being Super Bowl champs, our defense was ranked 27th in the NFL. That don't bode well. Now, people talk about how the offense was last year. We was ranked 15th in the league. People don't understand that, yeah, we were ranked 15th, but we was the 3rd best passing offense in the NFL. That goes to show you how well Matt had played. So by us being the 3rd best passing offense in the NFL, but we were ranked 15th, that's a lack of production in the rushing attack. But the reason why we wasn't successful in more games is because our defense was down at the bottom of the barrel. So once again, offense scores points, defense win games, or offense sells tickets, and defense win championships. You need a defense. That's all I've been begging for the last decade plus. A defense.
With that said, I want to kind of change up. Hold on, Kevin. I'm about to throw it at you. I'm about to change it up just a little bit. I want to throw it to you and just Big Low on this, man. It's the same. It's the same question, but just a little different. Knowing that we need a defense, how would you guys prefer this defense to be? Whether it be more aggressive, play more man, play more zone? Like, how would you guys go? How would you guys kind of help, turn around the defense, be more consistent?
Can I start off?
No, hold on, man. No. Go. No, Kevin, Dustin, and then June.
First.
You want to go?
I'll let Low take it first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that well, first of all, it's like going back to, I just wanted to touch on the whole defense and Raheem Morris becoming the coach situation. A lot of people don't realize that just because you're a good defensive coordinator doesn't make you a good head coach, because there's so many things that go into coaching. Clock management, depth chart decisions, just organizing practices, organizing training camp, all those things go into effect. Raheem Morris, he knows the X's and the O's, but why trash something that's that's been working already whenever you got a team that's already following you and, ready to run through a wall for you. Now, as far as that defense, Mike, to be honest with you, I think we need to just kind of keep everything the way that we're going. I really like this zone scheme that we're running. The only difference that I will make is that in situations, because sometimes our defense does get a little bit too vanilla. And I think that we need to learn how to make some adjustments. Like if it's a 3rd down and long, just let those guys play man coverage and put those 2 safeties over the top. We don't need to get fancy, because y'all know just like I know, if you run that zone coverage, if somebody's running across the middle and they time it perfectly, they can just take it to the house on us. So, in cases like that, as far as the defense goes, I really like the scheme that we have, and I think I really like the way that we put the team together. But I think we just need to make some adjustments. I don't know if y'all noticed, but at those last 8 games last year after Raheem Morris took over, did y'all notice that we started blitzing a little bit more? Devondre Campbell was getting sacks, and I mean,
right.
quarterbacks. Whenever quarterbacks get pressure, and whenever quarterbacks don't know where the pressure is coming from, that's whenever you really have success. Ask the Blitzburg Steelers. They have these legendary defenses all these years. It's because they're bringing pressure from all over the place. And get a chance to put that quarterback on the ground. A quarterback with a clean jersey is a successful quarterback. We want to get his jersey dirty.
Yeah.
You said you brought up Raheem Morris and he took over. Let me reiterate real quick. First game as a defensive coordinator, 6 sacks, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
6 sacks, and then it's like what Mike was saying last week. That running game, man. Whenever you run,
hold up. You know, I'm that up just a little quick. He was as a coordinator, but let's make this clear. They were calling plays together. He and Jeff Olbrich were calling plays together. So we're not gonna give it all to one particular person.
That's true.
Like and see, that's why I have an issue. And that's why I have an issue. We want to give everyone one person all of the credit, and that's not how teams work.
That's true.
Bill Belichick has been successful because he allowed his defensive coordinators to do their job. And when they weren't doing their job, that's when he stepped in and did his thing. So it's a collaborative effort. So that's why I always have an issue with people as far as like want to give everyone credit. Kill, man, what you think, bro? Like how should the Falcons kind of dictate the defense in your opinion, man?
Well, Low kind of hit it on the mark. I mean, you have, like I said, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. I keep the blitz coming. And like you said, it's a passing league. You got to get them off that spot in less than 3 seconds. I mean, you got to bring more body. You got to be more aggressive. And I think the one thing about this team that I do like about the defense is you got ball hawks in that secondary too. So, like I said, let them, like I said, get pressure and let them make the plays. You keep it going like you did last year.
Yeah, man. I agree with both of y'all. Keep the pressure coming, and I would mix it up. It's no more we're going all zone. We're gonna play man, we're gonna play zone, we're gonna mix it up. I wouldn't stay with one, I wouldn't give them a steady dose of nothing. I would have your head spinning as a quarterback because you wouldn't know what I'm gonna do. But I will be bringing pressure. Because one thing I like about Mike Zimmer and the Vikings, he keep that double A blitz coming. And he has quarterbacks thinking who's coming, and you got to keep, like we said, pressure on the quarterback. That's the reason why Marcus Mariota looked like a Hall of Famer against us. That's the reason that Jacoby Brissett looked like a Hall of Famer against us, because we didn't get no pressure on them guys. When you let quarterbacks, when they're running routes, football is all about timing. Those routes are about timing. If you put your corners back up there and bump and run coverage, and you throw that timing off, a lot of those passes are going to be incomplete. A lot of passes are going to be overthrown because you throw that timing off. And in the division we playing right now with Tom Brady and with Drew Brees, that are statues back there, I would keep the pressure coming. Like they said, let's bring back blitz grits and let's blitz all day. Keep those quarterbacks thinking, man. Yeah, I would press up on these guys. I wouldn't play all of that zone, because if you leave, you seen what happened in the Super Bowl. When you left those gaps in that cover 3, what did Tom Brady do? He gonna take the underneath routes all day long and pick us apart. He gonna take what you give him. So you gotta bring the pressure. You gotta keep them off balance. Like I wouldn't run all man. I wouldn't run all zone. I've seen teams running on half the field we running zone, on the other half of the field we running man.
Yeah,
I would do all kind of things.
Cover six.
Yeah. So you don't know what's coming, because if you continue to show the same thing over time, Tom Brady, the veteran quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, even if you do that the whole game, where we're gonna blitz all game, eventually you're gonna get burned. Yeah. Matt Ryan was just talking about the Eagles game last year. They kept all out blitzing, zero blitz, zero blitz, zero blitz. What happened at the end of the game? They threw that zero blitz again, and we threw a screen pass, and it was wide open. All we needed was one clean block, and Julio was gone. So you can't blitz all day neither. You got to mix it up, because quarterbacks are too smart. Offensive coordinators are too smart where if you're doing one thing, if you're giving them a steady dose of the same thing over and over again, they're going to figure you out. Exactly. So I would mix it up. And that's what I love about this defense is we have the versatility with the players that we have, like Deion Buchanan and those players. You can throw them in on third down, on third and longs. You can throw those good coverage linebackers out there, like Deion Buchanan. You can drop not Deion Jones, but Keanu Neal. You can drop him in as a linebacker and let them cover tight ends, because really what killed us last year was Devondre Campbell. They knew on third down, look for Devondre Campbell. Whoever he's covering, we throwing the ball to him because he's going to be on one-on-one coverage and he's going to get exposed. That was a hot read. So we got to get these quarterbacks off their first read. That's another thing I realized last year. If you go back and look at tape, a lot of the times quarterbacks would look at that hot route, and whoever that hot route was, they would throw it right to him. The guy would be wide open pretty much every time. Yeah. So you got to take those first two looks away and make guys actually have to read our defense. And the way that you do that is you play bump and run coverage. You get up in their face. You bring guys in the box, and you don't even have to always blitz. You could just show pressure, bring everybody up to the line, and then drop out. You know what I'm saying? You got to disguise.
Hey man, hold on, guys. I love where this question goes. This is Charlton Nash, and it kind of goes into what we were saying, man. That's the dream defense, the style of defense that you want to play, for the Falcons to play, or it's not just the style, which which area of the defense that you would like to see dominate?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's like I always been wanting that defensive line. It's like ever since back in the day with Archambault and Chuck Smith and all them boys, I just want to see a real dominant defensive line. If your defensive line dominates, then it makes everybody's job easier. It's like checking back with Jew. It's like I don't know if y'all remember, but in the Super Bowl and over the years that we played the Saints, almost every time we sacked Drew Brees and Tom Brady, what position sacked them? It was always pressure coming up that A gap, right?
Inside.
It was always inside, because those guys, they're experienced. They know how to read the line. They know how to step up to avoid those defensive ends. I mean, every now and then a monkey might fall out of a tree and the defensive end might come and get Tom Brady or Drew Brees. But look, we need to bring some pressure up the middle. My dream defense is basically something that they can adjust to the situation. You know what I'm saying? Let's fake some blitzes. Let's play cover. Let's play zone on this side and man on this side. Let's play some bump and run. Let's have a defensive line that gets after it. You know what I'm saying? And, with some active hands, not just holding people, not just titty bumping. I want to see somebody get past somebody and get to the quarterback, put the quarterback on the ground.
Yes, sir.
In the same vein.
Let's go.
Go
ahead.
Mike, I think me and you don't have this conversation on numerous occasions, but you said dream defense. Man, let me tell you, man. Now somebody mentioned, the steel curtain type defense. I'm gonna stay in that division because, man, if I could ever feel somewhat similar that Baltimore Ravens defense, man. Like, and I ain't even talking about that. I'm not even talking about the 2000 defense. I'm talking about that 2009 defense when they went up to Foxborough in that wild card game and completely destroyed Brady and the Patriots. Like, Brady had 2-3 turnovers in the first quarter. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see nothing but complete sheer dominance on the field. Like, when they step on the field, you immediately fear our defense. Like, boy, I don't think we're gonna get in the yards this drive. Like, that's what I want to see. That's my dream defense of being able to find. I mean, you ain't gonna necessarily find a duplicate of Ray Lewis. That's gonna be that was like a generation of talent. The leadership, the motivation, the playmaking. It's gonna be hard for you to find that him in the Ed Reed. But if you can get like some off-brand version of them, I still take that, because, like, man, those guys were just so dominant that whole game. Just like you said, that front stuff the run, they create the rush. That the linebackers, you feared them. your receivers and tight ends, it was like, nah, I don't want to go across the middle because they sit up there. You had a safety in Ed Reed that was a ball hawk, so you would fear because you ain't want to throw the ball you ain't want to throw the ball any kind of way because it could go back for 6. Like, oh man, just the way how those guys played, man, it was just magical to watch. So if I could ever feel the defense like that, man, I would be one happy Falcon fan.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
what's
man.
on your mind?
Like, hey, I gotta have that defensive line. I gotta have the defensive line getting that pressure. Yeah, like they said, you got statues in our division, and if they got the pressure coming up the middle, they can't step and make them throws. You already know Drew Brees can't see over a fire hydrant, so
their arm looking shaky too these days.
Oh, that arm shot. That arm is dead.
That arm looking weak, boy.
Well, it's baby shit weak.
Damn. I wasn't gonna go that low.
But like I said, I need that pressure. Like I said, pressure can make any defensive scheme you play look real good. Rather cover 3, cover 2, man. But you could prevent that quarterback from standing in that pocket for 3 seconds. Shoot, you can have nobody back there, and that quarterback would be woo. And like I said, you think about that 2000 Raven defense, like we said about it, Mike, about Tony Saragusa and them big boys they had up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some guys are like the big uglies.
That's a scary defense when they tell the offense just give us 7 points and we got the rest. That's a whole nother beast. Right?
That's scary, bro.
but we gotta have
Dude, what you got, man?
Can you imagine going against a defense like that? Like that, like you said, like all you can tell your offense that you just get 7 and we can handle the rest of it. Like, bro, that's scary to go against. To say I can put up 7 and y'all handle, we got the rest. And the crazy part about it is that defense was so good here. That they defense was so good here, they could get 7 they damn selves. That one made it so wild.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Then if you remember that Super Bowl, remember the Giants was like the #1 offense that year. And
they made them look like they made them boys look bottom tier that night. They made them boys look bottom tier. But hey, Tiki was afraid. Tiki was afraid that whole game.
In his eyes.
He don't want no part of it gonna do that.
Shit, it wasn't even damn Ray Lewis that scared the shit out of here. You talking about Peter Bowell? Yeah, he don't want none of that. None of that.
No.
Shit.
But that what Peter Bowell, Chris McAllister, Rod Woodson. Oh man. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that defense was scary.
That defense was serious. But I'm the same with them, Mike. The defensive line is where you make your money on the defensive line. And I want one of them big dudes, man. I love them big, ginormous dudes like Haloti Nada, like they was talking about Tony Saragusa. I want one of them big guys. Chris Jones that plays for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. I like them dudes 6'8", 300. I'm 300 plus pounds because I like guys that collapse the pocket and you get overwhelmed by them. Yeah, you get overwhelmed by it, man. I'm telling you. The 49ers, when they had Eric Armstead, they got power forwards playing at that nose position. That's what I like, them big dudes. And that's how the Patriots build their team. They build their team where you playing in the phone. They make you play in the phone booth, dog. And that's the type of defense I like. To me, I like Dan Quinn with the speed, but I prefer size sometime over speed. You can have speed at the linebacker position. But to me up front, I don't like all them little light guys, man. I like them big dudes. Like Willie McGinnis, when the Patriots had Richard Seymour, Vince Wilfork. Oh man, them the type of dudes I'm talking about. I'm talking about them dudes that they put so much pressure on you, you don't know what to do. Like I said, that ball coming out in 2 seconds, dog. And that's what we need. We've been missing that. We done went with this light stuff, man. We need to bring back the Rod Coleman, some big guys, dude.
Let me tell you something. You mentioned that, and the only thing came to my mind was I called them boys the Great Wall in
Yeah,
Jacksonville
man.
when they had Marcus Stroud and John Henderson. Boy,
Yeah.
it was rough.
Or
It
the
was rough
Williams
for
Wall.
opposing line when they had them two together.
The Williams Wall in
That
Minnesota. Them big boys.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
man. Them big, but people want to know why Jared Allen can eat. He can eat like that because he gonna have one-on-one every time. You got the Williams walls inside. Them two dudes on the outside. It's a reason why Jared Allen can just come screaming off the edge. Because when you got those big boys inside handling things, and then think about if Deion Jones really had a big dude like that in the middle. Yeah, you got Grady Jarrett, but if you put somebody inside like a Derek Brown, that was the reason I wanted Derek Brown. You put a huge dude on the inside next to Grady Jarrett. Just imagine what them dudes like Tack can do off the edge, like Dante Fowler. You can come screaming off the edge because that pocket's gonna get collapsed. To a lesser note, when we had Corey Peters, a lot of people sleep on Corey Peters. When he was here, he was a playmaker. I don't care what nobody said. When Corey Peters was here, he was a playmaker. He went to Arizona, and ever since he left, we ain't really had that nose position other than Grady Jarrett. But he's a smallish guy. He's more of a pass rusher that plays inside. Because Grady Jarrett, he basically goes off speed. If you watch Grady Jarrett on the inside, he always beats those guards with his speed. He has that lateral quickness, and he uses his hands with those swim moves to get inside. But I want one of them big dudes where you can't move off the point. Like you said, like a Marcus Stroud, one of them guys that you can't push. Like you couldn't push Haloti Ngata out the hole. He was too big, and that's what I want. I want one of them guys where you can put three guys still in the hole.
Oh, y'all forgetting one name too. And this was one of my favorite big guys.
Grady Jackson.
Big Ted Washington.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were about to say Grady Jackson.
I already said Grady Jackson. That was obvious right there. I had to throw another one.
But he said, yeah, that Ted was something like, yeah, you couldn't do nothing with Ted, man. Like Ted was something serious, bro. Ted, like you just give up. All right, just run around. Just run around his ass.
You ain't pushing him out. You ain't pushing him out his spot.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt about Grady Jackson. Like that man was pushing like 6'6", and he was and damn 3. He looked like he was pushing 4. So I mean, like I can imagine, like you try to have two guards still trying to block that one dude.
Well, like it's like the shower curtain falling on you after shower. And you ain't moving that shit right away.
Hey, that's a lot of man to be pushing on, man. All day long. A lot of man to be leaning on you, bro.
All night long. That's a lot.
And that's the crazy part. He had to be
2-point conversion, man. 2-point conversion.
He had to be that big. I mean, he had to be that athletic.
Everybody, this is what. This is where everybody's going to have their time to like. This is where everybody's going to have their time to shine. Oh, good gosh.
Hey guys,
I having some technical issues.
Yeah. There we go. We're going to the 2-point conversion, man. This is where everybody get their last shot in as far as the Falcons is concerned. We're gonna go with Big Low, then LT. We're gonna hit Ju, then Kevin, and I'll end.
All right, thank you so much. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for listening with us tonight. I definitely enjoy everybody's passion for Atlanta Falcons football. Look, Atlanta Falcons Nation is going to be bringing y'all a lot of content. My homeboy Trav down there, he's going to be riding with us. ATL Alien Sports Zone. And look, we really got a lot of great things for y'all. I also want to give a shout out to a nonprofit foundation that's doing a lot of great things in the community right now. It's called Art in the Paint. Basically they're redoing basketball courts and, just providing some services for some of the youth in our community. I want to thank y'all once again for listening. Thank you so much.
I guess I'm Nick. Hey, I would like to reiterate what he said. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You'll be seeing me on the regular soon. will be starting my own show as well. But if you want to, if you have Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. We're at wordplay_kid26. I basically talk sports. Most days I probably end up creating another account for just sports related and for my own very own podcast. Before I end anything, Falcon fans, can we learn to support our team better than what we do? I understand we be upset a lot of times and these guys can't piss us off, but can we please be more supportive than what we is and stop with the asinine comments? I'm tired of seeing such and such as a choke artist. Mainly, I mean, well, Matt Ryan a choke artist. I'm gonna go out and say it. I don't understand why y'all say that. That's very false. If I do film and study, that's very false about that man's name. Let's be more supportive of our quarterback and our team, so we can finally get that capture that glory that we all been desperately wanting, which is a Super Bowl championship. Please, let's be more supportive. I don't want to see that toxic experience I saw on social media last year after every loss. Y'all adding football players and talking about how bad they is. Let's stop that now, please. Let's put an end to that.
Juju.
Yeah, man. I want to thank y'all for watching. As always, we're going to be bringing y'all great content here, man. Atlanta Falcons Nation, they're getting ready to start their show. You know, we here every Friday night at 8 p.m. Y'all continue to tune in. You guys definitely go hit that subscribe button on Jew Talk Sports on my channel, Mad Mike Sports. Y'all continue to hit that subscribe button. But he said it right, man. The season's about to start, but what I want us to do is just ride and die with our team. Just be ride or die. One thing I always talk about hating the Cowboy fans and all of the Steeler fans, but when they're 0-12, they ride or die. So as Falcons fans, we got to be ride or die, man. We already can't go to the stadium this year in September. So let's be ride or die, man. I'm so tired of turning on the Falcons game. It's some games where we're at home and I can hear the opposing fans in our stadium. That's sad, man. When they take over our stadium, and we got a brand new stadium. So we should be packing that thing out. As much as I hate the Saints, one thing I can say is they fans are ride or die, man. They there every Sunday packing it out. So we got to do the same thing for our squad, man. That's the reason we don't get the credit that we deserve, because they call us fair weather fans. When the Falcons are winning, everybody's packing out the stadium. When the Falcons are losing, everybody need to be traded. Our Dan Quinn. And it's just like, what have you done for me lately type situation. How about we just ride or die for our squad? How about we be the real Falcons Nation? That's the reason me, Mad Mike, Maggie, all of us, that's the reason we're making this positive Atlanta Falcons content, because we got to support our team and we got to put the true facts out there. There's so much stuff in the media about Matt Ryan, about all of our players, Julio Jones. We got to put the real information out there and do your research, as LT was talking about. I don't really care what take you take on my channel. You can come and say whatever you want to say, but what I say is bring some backup research with it. If you want Mohamed Sanu back, I didn't get to talk about Mohamed Sanu when y'all was weighing in on it. But if you want to check it out, go to my channel. I talked about Mohamed Sanu. And I guess I'm the black sheep, because I said, I don't care if we bring back Mohamed Sanu. My thing is, what is the reason why you're bringing him back? Are you bringing him back because the other receivers we have can't block? Because it's important as a wide receiver to be able to block in the run game. So Mohamed Sanu was a hell of a blocker. So if you bringing somebody back to be a blocker and to move the chains on third down like a tight end in the slot, I'll bring Mohamed Sanu back. But you got to have reasons and facts behind what you say. And I think that's the biggest issue I see with Falcons fans. We want to say, cut this player, get rid of this player, bring in that player. But what's your reasons behind it? If you think the player can add something to the team and be an asset to the team, I don't care. Bring your tape. But don't just say, let's sign this player and have no reasons or no facts to back up or no research to back up what you're saying. So, like I said, man, let's support our team, man. It's a new year. It's 2020. And our Falcons are ready to go. We got the new uniforms. I've seen everybody been buying the new jerseys. I'm about to go ahead and buy one of my one of the new jerseys. But let's ride or die with our team, man. I don't want to turn on social media and see one of the jerseys already being burned. Come on, man. Let's really support the team. And let's not be up here trolling these players. Let these players do them. Let's not be trolling. And trust me, they get enough trolls from the Saints and the Panthers and the Buccaneers. So we don't need to troll our own team, our own team. And that's all I got, man. I'm gonna kick it over to Kevin.
Yeah, like I said, Said appreciate everybody watching tonight. Atlanta Falcon Nation, you already know where to go. Subscribe to everybody. You can finally follow me on Twitter. I'm tired of everybody calling me old school and shit, so I got a Twitter now. So you can follow me there. Post something here now and then. But like I said, we appreciate Mad Mike, like I said, giving us the opportunity to, get out of our comfort zones and get on here and talk shit. And all the fair weather Falcons fans, y'all can go kill yourselves twice.
God dog. That's how you in it. That's how you in it.
That's two point version right now, bro.
But
man, we gotta check and see if the kids on here first. We're gonna say that. Hold on.
But for real, I had to throw that in. But for real, like I said, you just gotta support the team no matter what. Like I said, stop bitching about okay, we lose, we win or not, whatever. Like I said, every game is week to week. And like I said, if you don't want to support the team week to week, you don't need to support the team, period. Go over there and be a Buccaneers fan like everybody else.
Yeah.
Go over there and be a Cowboys fan like everybody else.
Damn,
this is a nation right here. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Can I add something? Because what's the name? Because the Drew had mentioned people buying jerseys. And Mike know where I'm finna go with this. Why in the hell are y'all buying Mike?
I know.
Why? Why are we doing this?
Oh my God!
Can we please let him be in the past? Listen, as a Falcon fan and as a black, I'm gonna put it out there. As a black man, I love Vic as my quarterback. The dude was phenomenal. Like he was great to watch. You know what I'm saying? He was exciting to watch. I mean, I bought 2 of his jerseys. I bought the original jersey when he first got drafted, and I had another jersey when we got the new uniforms. I know how it feels to be supportive of this man, but at this time, this man has not played for us in the past 14 seasons. Let him go. It's fine. It's okay to not, to move on from him, because buying new uniforms with Vic on the back of it is not cool to me. We're done with him. The man done suited up for 3 other franchises since he left for us. He was a Philly, he was an Eagle, he was a Jet, and he was a Steeler. Let him ride. If you're gonna buy an old jersey, buy one of the old versions. Don't bring new Vic. Don't bring old Vic into our new regime. We done with him. We done with him. Please let him ride. I'm sick of it. I love the dude dearly. Still one of my favorite players. But we done with him now. Listen. Vic, when Vic was playing for us, I was still in school. I'm about 30. Let him go. Let him go.
And look, I'm about to say in that case, you might well get you a Joey Harrington jersey while you at.
As a matter of fact, buy Chris Campbell. As a matter of fact, let's take all. Let's bring an OJ Santiago tight end jersey in the new regime. Let's bring the Dirty Bird. Let's bring the original Dirty Bird, Jamal Anderson. Let's get a version for that. But if we let everybody else stay in the past, let Vic stay in the past as well.
Exactly.
Please.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to come to no Falcon fan for my first time experiencing. I don't want to come to no Falcon team or no Falcon game for my first experience. And I'm looking at, look at all these brand new jerseys, and I see Vic on the back of one. Jesus, I might Zoro. I don't know yet. I just might. I might put a big old Z behind it like I'm Zoro.
Hey man, damn. Shit, I can't. Y'all killed the end of that shit. I'm just gonna put my damn channel. Got nothing else to say. I'm just gonna put my channel, man. For real, man. Hey, man, this is why y'all need to get on this Atlanta Falcons Nation train, man. Because, like I said, we got some real Atlanta Falcons fans here, all ages, man. You know what I'm saying? And these are the guys that are handpicked with knowledge. We're talking about knowledge. all right, knowledgeable. If you want to be educated, if you want the truth and the facts, and you tired of the goddamn bull crap from ESPN and all these other media outlets, even inside of Georgia, who do nothing but they just disrespect this team, and they do things like going on social media at these players, harassing these players. Like y'all don't realize y'all can actually go to jail for that type of stuff. Stop it. It's harassment. Don't do that type of shit to people. All right. That's one thing that I never understood with Falcons. You harass your own players. It's disrespectful, and you're a low down, dirty slut of a fan for doing stuff like this. Go do that to somebody else. Why are you doing that to your own people? You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing that to your own people? This is the team that you're supposed to out with. And y'all up here, y'all harassing this guy. You're harassing Vic Beasley. You're harassing Devondre Campbell. You're harassing Duke Riley. Harassing Desmond Trufant. These guys on that social media. And there be some disgusting shit. Like go kill yourself and stuff like that. Like y'all do this. Y'all, I've literally seen people threaten people's lives on social media. It's not deep. If you care for your team, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. If you're a real fan, like you say you are, why are you threatening these players? As if they don't have feelings. You know, I get this from my boy Bray Wyatt. Everybody know I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. But one of the statements that he always said, and people in the media and these athletes, these entertainers, they do suffer mental issues as well. That stuff gets to them. They are human as well. Stop it. You don't want that type of shit happening to you. Why would you do it to others? All right, and on that, man, we got before you go, man.
Before we go, but you say how people was atting them and saying certain stuff. A lot of y'all gotta please stop that, because you don't even realize you putting your lives in danger. Some of these cats do come from rough backgrounds. A la prime example, Devontae Freeman. I know of the projects that this man was born and raised in, and if I'm not mistaken, Poking Beans projects in Miami, Florida. Got family that lives in them projects. Trust me, it ain't sweet down there. A lot of y'all be Twitter fingering it up, but you wouldn't last a day in Poking Beans. I know for a fact. I done been in them streets. Mm-hmm. Y'all would not last a day in Poking Beans, but you tweeting reckless on Twitter. Don't do that. A lot of people are really about it in real life. Please don't do that.
Especially after what he did with Aaron. Yeah. You don't want to smoke with him.
Exactly. You don't want to smoke with that man. If he ain't care about size against Aaron Donald, you don't want to see that man in real life. Stop it.
You don't, bro. It's like that's the truth. That's real crap, man. But again, man, damn, man. We won 2 hours and it didn't even feel like it, man. We got, man, like I said, man, we got a special brewing in the Atlanta Falcons Nation, man. I love this crew, man, and we y'all continue to support your boy, man, Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation. More importantly, I got 49 people in this chat. Please, if you have not, type in Atlanta Falcons Nation on YouTube and subscribe, please. All right. I don't beg a lot. I really don't beg a lot. We're trying to get to 200. Please, 50 people right now. 50 people. Go type in the search engine for Atlanta Falcons Nation and subscribe to the channel. I truly appreciate it, man. Like I said, we're going to give y'all entertainment. We're going to give you guys nothing but the truth and the facts of the matter. All right. I truly appreciate it, man. And with that said, man, man, we had a good ass time with y'all, man, and continue to support us every Friday. Like Big Low and Trav, ATL and Sports Zone, they got something coming. Jew Talk Sports, man. You can check him out as well. Even Miss Maggie T, go check out Lust Exchange. They be talking about some real issues that needs to be talked about, and it's quite entertaining. So, man, like I said, we really got some stuff going for y'all, but I appreciate it. Love y'all to death, man. I don't say that shit a lot, but trust me, I truly love y'all, man, because like I said, man, y'all don't know how much this is therapeutic for a lot of people. So with that being said, man, check your asses over Atlanta Falcons Nation or YouTube. Type it in, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be at 200 within the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks. A lot faster. Appreciate it. That's all I got to say about that. And we out.
And celebrities are not real sports fans, so they can shut the hell up too.
You gonna hit it